Hey guys, I'm Gracie from the Music Enthusiast blog, and today I'm here with Famba. How are you doing today?
Good. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Thank you for doing it. Are you ready to get into the interview?
I am ready. I was born ready.
Okay. What made you want to get into music?
There was a couple things. I mean, like from a young age, I was like a rave kid in like a sea of like country music. So like I always felt like I wanted to pursue something that I loved and that like everyone else didn't like kind of thing. It was like my special kind of thing. And then eventually dance music turned into this whole thing. Um, but it was for the love of like the genre of dance music and electronic music. And then I went to my first festival when I was 18 and saw like the environment and the atmosphere and the energy that was at like like at a rave.
Yeah.
And I kind of got hooked. And ever since that night, I went home, I downloaded like the music software and I just never stopped.
Do you have like a favorite musical memory that comes to mind?
Ooh, I don't know. I think there was one like very influential moment when I was first starting, when I first like played my first like proper show. Because I when I first started DJing, like I was a nobody in my city. I was just starting making music, so I would like help promoters like set up, and I would do all that kind of stuff. And then eventually they were like, "All right, we're gonna put you in. Like we're gonna put you in your first show, and it's gonna be like a sold out show." At this place called the Argyle, which is like this really interesting like basement club in Halifax. And ever since that night, I was like totally hooked on the whole like DJing thing, and that really kind of inspired me to like keep going. I'll never forget that night.
Do you miss having concerts now?
Very much. Oh my god. I mean, you don't realize how like boring your life is until you can't do stuff like that. Because I kind of like had all of my fun reliant on like going out on the weekend or like going to play shows or traveling. Now without that, it's I had to think about like who am I? What am I
Yeah.
doing?
How's quarantine been for you, by the way?
It's been good. It's been fine. Definitely bored. I've been playing a lot of video games and cooking and making plenty of music, but it was I think it was funner at first, and then now it's like okay, like it's been like a year.
You're
I'm
ready
over
to
it.
get over with it.
Yeah.
What was it like starting out in such a competitive industry?
Very tough. Very tough. I don't know. Like you can't really think of it like that too, because like the music industry as a whole is very, very competitive.
Yeah.
And you kind of just have to do what you can to try to stick out. But when I first started, I didn't even know about the industry. I just made music, and I think that helped me a lot because I didn't really get into the actual like industry part of it until later in my career. Um, and it's still tough to this day. It's very competitive. A lot of people and a lot of DJs now, and there's a lot of great music out there. But I think you just have to make music for the love of it, and people will connect with music that feels personal to them.
Yeah. How do you find inspiration for your songs? Because I know you started out as a DJ and now you're making your own songs. Has that
Mhm.
kind of changed how you write songs?
So I actually started. I was a DJ and a producer, and I was never writing lyrics or anything. And then I started going to writing camps like years ago, and then I kind of discovered this world of songwriting, um, and that was very eye opening. Because before it was just like doing remixes and making beats, but like now there's this whole process of like you write some chords and you write lyrics and melodies, and it's like such an experience. But I kind of just take inspiration from what's around me, from older music, especially a lot of older music. But I mean, when you're in a room and you're songwriting, it's kind of just like a collection of like what everyone's feeling that day or like some past stuff. It's sometimes it's about a story, sometimes it's about a certain scenario in your life, or maybe it's about how you're feeling that day. It always changes, and it depends on who you're working with.
Yeah. Still Call You Mine is your first release of this year. How are you feeling about that?
Great. It's had a really awesome week. Definitely one of the strongest weeks, or the strongest week I've ever had with like streaming, and the feedback has been great. But yeah, I was very nervous about releasing music at all because it's been so long since I put out like my own personal music. It's been like since this time last year, and I wrote the song last March, so I've been sitting on it for months and months and months. So it's nice that it's finally out.
How did you know that it was time to like release this song?
It was kind of just like a okay, it's been a while kind of thing.
Yeah.
Um, But I feel like I was kind of wanting to wait until the pandemic ended or was like nearing the end, but who knows when that's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I kind of figured it's best to just start putting out the music now.
Yeah. Is there a certain song that you're excited to play when you do go back on tour?
I have this one song from my EP that I think I'm going to be ending my sets with for years because it's so like epic and big and anthemic. Um, that one, I don't know if I should like leak the title yet, but I'm very excited to play that one.
From your first single to, of course, your single now, have you seen your music grow or develop?
Yes, absolutely. Because when I was first starting, I was kind of just like making music with not much direction or much thought of how it's going to sound sonically. But now with my new music, I definitely take into consideration like what I'm trying to achieve sonically, and I want everything to be like dance oriented, four on the floor house music. So now when I'm going into writing sessions, you know, I have all those things in mind. So it's starting to sound a lot more cohesive and like a body of work rather than just like a collection of singles.
Do you have any future projects or plans that you can tell us about or hint at?
So I have Wishes Volume 2, which is going to be coming out. It's almost done. So that will be my second EP. And then after that, probably an album, maybe. I'm kind of terrified of writing an album, but it's kind of been like my life goal is to write an album. So that's probably going to happen. I don't know when, but it's in the horizon. I've been thinking about it a lot, and I have a name for it too.
You have a name for your debut album?
I do.
Do you think about it a lot, or is it like
Yeah.
cover art in your head too?
I don't have the cover art in my head, but I definitely like. I've been thinking about this album a lot in the past couple of months, so I feel like it might start happening. I just don't know how long it'll take.
Yeah. Your songs "Wish You Well," "Swear to God," and "Too Close" recently went gold. How did that feel to get that achievement, but also see the numbers go up?
Amazing. I mean, when I made those songs, you never know how things are going to be received. But when I got the actual like gold records in the mail, it was like surreal. Such a good feeling.
Did you put them up somewhere special?
They were right up there.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, they're in my studio.
so you can look at them.
It's nice.
It's nice.
It's nice when you walk into the
You go
studio and you
for
see
like a
some gold
platinum.
records.
You could get a platinum soon, I think.
That's the goal.
Yeah. Do you have like a
Definitely.
certain song that you would want it on though that's like special?
Ooh, I don't know. Well, I mean, I'll take a platinum wherever it comes. I'm not picky.
If you could describe yourself and your music in 3 words, what would they be and why?
I think if I was to describe myself, I would say fun, quirky, determined, very determined person. Um, my music, I would say fun, uplifting. Um, maybe I would say emotional too. I do like to. I love writing like emotional songs. Yeah, that's what I'd say.
Our blog is all about up and coming artists. Do you have any artists that you have your eye on or that you would recommend?
Hmm. My friend DLMT, he's another house producer from Toronto. He is absolutely crushing it right now, and he's a great friend of mine. So we have a song together too. So
Yeah. Would you ever do another collaboration with him?
absolutely, we've been working on a bunch of music.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Do you have a dream collaboration?
Calvin Harris.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my absolute most desired collaboration ever.
Do you have a favorite song at the moment too?
My favorite song of all time is definitely Toto Africa. Like without a doubt, it's my most listened to song by far.
Yeah. Well, that's all the questions I have for you. Thank you so much for doing this. It means a lot to me in the blog.
Oh, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, for sure. And I wish you all the best in the future. You're doing amazing so far.
Oh, thank you so much.
No problem. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.